Alright, YouTube, so I hate to abort certain projects, and I'll go ahead and change the description in this video because the heat pump idea, I got all this stuff, so I'm going to still do a heat pump conversion. It's just not going to be on this because this aluminum block, I have to get a machinist involved to make me a couple more adapter blocks for the second TXV, which needs to be this type if I went that route, so I have to have machine blocks for that. I was thinking I could tap it in this block here in the coil direct, but coil direct won't work well. This block is possible, but I'll be $300 or $500 in with machine work and everything and parts and TXV before I even confirm my control issue would work on this particular unit. So what I'm doing anyway is what the other half of what I was going to do is replace this 1/8 inch crap that the Chinese put on here on this airbox with this pink foam. This is 1 inch. It's got a really high, I can't remember the exact rating this is. This is pink Panther. It's bits and pieces I got out of the scrap. So, but I got just enough to cut, you know, enough of this. This isn't obviously cut how it's going to be, but I'm going to cut some extra pieces that's going to fit in here. And then I'm just going to take some really good tape and tape over it after the box is covered. Show you over here. So if you got one of these units, this is one of the #1 things you can do, and the calculation was advance it. See that thin crap right there? See that thin crap? We're replacing with 1 inch, and it'll fit almost everywhere. I'll have to stuff it in there back there a little bit, and I'll leave the black back there just in case I can't get all of it. But this is going to help significantly. It's already going to raise the SEER, I believe, 2 points from about a 12 estimated to a 14, just from me doing this airbox mod. And then this is empty, by the way. It's not in my apartment full of Freon. It's empty. It's in a vacuum state. So after I get this insulation done and I clean everything up, I'm gonna get it out of here, take it back to my property with the airbox done, and I'm gonna fill this with the R134 replacement refrigerant. That is a blend of R290 and R600. That's going to raise the efficiency even more, and you can always adjust this TXV right here. I can adjust that, my superheat, if I need to, with the new refrigerant. So you can run it. It's no problem. I adjusted it on the red one. Just wanted to give you all an update on this project because I got all the parts except for the TXV because I had trouble sourcing it, and I was trying to get away from doing this. I was going to go aluminum to copper because the 4-way reversing valves, they're all copper, so they don't really make parts that can adapt to this very easily. So, and part of this is I wanted to do projects that is actually at least semi-feasible for the average DIYer, and this isn't one of them. Now what I'm doing with the airbox, that's feasible for a beginner. You can take the cover off and re-insulate your air conditioner. And I know a lot of y'all on YouTube done bought these, so don't be depressed if you did, because you can replace your R134A with the R134A Industrial Replacement. It's going to raise your efficiency about 10% right off the top just by changing the refrigerant. Now, you're going to have to know what you're doing to get into those, but it's got ports, it's automotive style. You need gauges and a vacuum pump to do this properly because this doesn't have a decusant dryer. It's a small system. So, and I just took this off because I was looking in there, looking at the blowers and stuff. It's got proprietary control boards. It's kind of a mess in here, but that's the control board that got water all in it because the hoses were kind of messed up. But they should have been just cut off just like that, or protruded through these holes. That way it could just drain off the sides. You know, if I wanted to put a better hose on there, I can, because that hose is going to kink anyway when you try to bend it. So it's junk. But this is a marked up thing that the Chinese made. It's actually a pretty clever design. I gotta give it to them. It's clever. But this wasn't worth no $800. At best, I'm looking at a $550 to maybe $625 value in American dollars. That's what this is worth. Because the red one I got has a higher BTU rating because of the package. This sucks. It's a real crappy package. You literally got heat right beside your airbox. So that's terrible. Look how close the coils are together. That's one of the reasons air conditioners for RVs suck, and this is a sucky orientation. It's just small, low profile. if they would have done better on the airbox insulation, it would actually have been a decent air conditioner. The air would be colder. Like this would actually, I think it's going to raise my BTU rating up closer to 10, because I think with the mini split and the same compressor, they were rating it at 13,000 BTU hours, and I believe it because the airflow is on par with it. This one's probably, realistically, I'd be lucky to get 9,500 from an 8,500 rated unit. Maybe 10,000 is what you could call it, with a SEER of about 14 with this new insulation. So we did raise it quite a bit. It may actually be a little higher than that with the replacement refrigerant that has better. It's flammable, but we got 3-phase brushless. It's not gonna. I actually feel more uncomfortable putting that R134A replacement in a car, because the car you can crash and it's flammable. That's a problem. This is technically it's still a vehicle on a vehicle, but this isn't going to crash. It's not going to be in a front-end collision, so much less danger there. And the replacement has this weird mix that probably helps that flammability. It brings it down. It's got like an oil. It looks almost fluorescent when it leaks out, but when I had the cans, it leaked out. Anyway, didn't want to make this too long. That's what we're going to. Look at this. Let me do a side by side. Look at that. Look at that. Let me turn the light on so you could really see that good. You got 1/8 inch to 1 inch. Significant difference. This is going to be, and I'm going to tape it. So it's going to be nice and foil taped all around it, especially between the coil and stuff back here. I'm going to try to do something about that. This line, it's actually a flex line. I'll try to isolate those two. Just get a little bit more in the air. Got to isolate this coil from this coil because they're really close. I don't want to lift that coil out, but otherwise, pretty solid design. I wish it had a decusant dryer. I wish it had a dryer in it. It doesn't, and I'm not going to put one in it because it's literally automotive lines and block connections. So, but it does make it very DIY friendly, because most of y'all, if you're doing little stuff at all, you probably have gauges for a car, and you might even have your own vacuum pump and a scale if you needed a scale, but hell, you're using little cans. So anyway, hope y'all get something out of this. Sorry I'm not doing the heat pump with this particular unit. I am not giving up on that theory yet. Just with this one I am. I'm going to be satisfied with its stupid electric heat. And by the way, I'm putting a mini split in my RV anyway. That's got a heat pump. And it's got a SEER of 24.5. So I'll be a little more taken care of with that, regardless how you look at it. So anyway, peace.